Hey, before I get into this video, I want to let you guys know that if you like this game, please click the link in the description down below. It helps me if you go through that link if you're going to download it, so please go through that link. If you guys just want to check out the game, see if you like it, please click on that. It really helps me out. And if you like these videos, please hit that like button. Anyways, I'll get into the video. Hey everyone, welcome back to my latest Heckfire video. Today we'll be talking about allies. So this is going to be part of the tutorial series. Today will be the allies tutorial, what you need to know about allies, why you want to buy them, and why they're so important to the game. This is why I'm making this one first, because I believe allies is probably the main thing people need to focus on more. Because I see a lot of people, they'll focus on research, they'll focus on every other stuff, they'll throw the gold into research, and all of a sudden they can't hit very high, and they're really weak compared to what other people would be if they just put the gold into allies. Because allies, first off, they actually will make you gold. They will make you stronger. They do a bunch of stuff for you. So everyone has a kind of a bonus based on their what's called hero. Mine is mostly grass because I've done a lot of, let's say, grass research and stuff like that. But it's also based on your dragons, all this. So if someone was to try to buy me, I am like 550 million gold right now. My grassland stats would give the person 30% or 33% for grass, 19.5 for badlands, and 18.3 for swamp. So those are the numbers you want to look at, because that's the bonus they're going to give you for attacking. Because attacking here is basically on 3 different biomes. There's grass, which I'm a grass main, so I'm always on grass. There's the badlands, which is the brown stuff over here. And then the swamp, which is the swampy looking thing over here, so the swampland. Those are the 3 biomes, so those are the stats you'll get off of that. So looking at, let's say, allies, I'll look at my top ally here. This is not a good ally, so do not do it based on this one. I actually kind of want to get rid of them. He was an active ally. He quit the game, so his stats stopped going up. So I am now stuck with him. So if anyone wants to buy it, go ahead. I don't care about that. That's why I'm showing this one. So, so this is my top ally. He was 100 and something mil when I bought him, or maybe he was around 100 mil. Every time you buy an ally, the price will actually go up. So that's actually how you make gold, because I'll show you at some of the allies I had bought before. So here, someone had bought this ally off of me for 74 million or something. I made 1.2 million gold from someone buying the ally. So that's something you can do. So the first thing I'm going to talk about is actually not the stats. It's going to be basically volleying. The volleying, or what volleying is. Volleying is. So what volleying is. So basically what you want to do is find some good allies, probably lower, and what you can do is buy and sell them to other people. People do this all the time. So if I go to, let's say, I don't know, 20,000. So that's a good starting point. That's 200,000. 20,000. You'll basically look through here. You're looking for allies with decent stats. I would not try and volley like these guys. You can volley them because people will buy them. They're active allies and stuff. Anyone active, they'll volley it up. But personally, I don't want to get stuck with a crappy ally. So what I'll do is I'll go through the list. I'll kind of look through the thing. I'm trying to find stats that are decent. So this one's okay. So let's say 88, 67, 67. For this price, it's pretty decent. So what I could do is hire that. Pretty soon, someone will probably buy it from me, because around this area, probably I would say 5,000 to 100,000. There's a lot of people volleying them back and forth. What that means is people will pick it up. You buy it from them, they'll buy it back from you, and you get a profit each time you buy it back from each other, and you'll move it up to where you want the ally to be, or where you're comfortable actually purchasing that ally for, because you don't want to like bring one of these guys up to 10 million, and then you spent 10 million on an ally that's really lackluster in stats. So that kind of goes into another thing. When you're looking at allies, it'll be based depending on how much they're worth. These lower allies, it doesn't really matter, because once you get to the top allies, you're looking at about, let's say, 4.5% is kind of the 4.5% or 4.5 million per percent of ally stats. So let's say you take a look at this guy. He should be, let's say, his total stats, if you add all the stats up together, is like 2.5%. So you multiply that by the 2.5 by the 4.5 million per percent, and that's where the maximum price I'd pay for that ally would be. Personally, I wouldn't actually waste an ally slot on someone with these stats. See, if someone's buying this from me, sometimes if I'll purchase it back right here, they'll actually purchase it again, and that's how the volleying starts. So you can see you only get like $95 on someone this cheap, but as you volley them up, you'll actually get more and more profit. So eventually someone will buy from that, and I'll buy it back, and then they'll buy it from me, and eventually you get into a volleying loop where you're buying it back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, and that will get you all the gold. And you can keep doing that because you can basically stop at a certain point, someone will buy it from you, you go back down, pick another person from the list, do that, or you can pick multiple people from the list. It really depends on how many allies slots you have, because there's always a maximum ally slot. You can increase your maximum ally slots by going into your base here. For maximum ally slots, you want to be looking at, I think it's here, yeah, embassies. So at certain levels, you can see ally slots are plus. So below 25, depending on your level, you start getting them really quickly here. So by, let's say, 10th level, you actually have 3 ally slots per embassy, and you get multiple embassies. At 25, you actually get 10. So per embassy here, you'll have 10 ally slots. So I think you can have I think it's 125-ish ally slots. I'm only at 80 something, so I'm going to be more careful with mine, because the good thing about having more ally slots is you can have cheaper allies and fill those slots up, because the cheaper allies are usually have better stats than the more expensive allies. Because if you look at me right here, I'm at 33, let's say 19, 18. If you add all those up, I'm actually really overpriced. Well, personally, I wouldn't buy myself because I feel like I'm overpriced myself. So I wouldn't be paying $550 million for those stats, just because you're not really getting very good stats from that. Whereas, let's say, like I said, you looked at this ally here. He's only 7,000, but he's giving me all these stats. So if you're starting out, you probably want to have cheaper allies and then work it up as people are buying them back. So someone bought them there. I could always buy it back and see if someone buys it back. And sometimes it actually goes a lot quicker than this, but it really depends on the ally stats. His ally stats aren't great. If this was like 1.2 and then these were 67, it would be buying a lot quicker than it is right now. And this guy's obviously a new player. He's only like 1.4 million might, so he just started. Maybe he's just, so you can see they're actually buying it back, so I could buy it back again. And you can see how the profit goes up every time. And as soon as this guy starts getting really, really expensive, you'll start getting a lot. Like I said, down here, you look at some of these guys. This guy's at 15 million. They give you around 200,000. So if you're volleying it up to there, obviously you have to have good stats to get up there. Otherwise, around like 65 million, it's like 1 million. If the ally, I think my top allies used to be like 250 million. You get like 4 million gold every time someone bought that. So he's already bought it back. So I'm not going to actually volley this all the way up, but oops, nope, never mind. That was from before. So I'm not going to volley that up. But I that's kind of what you can do with people. And also, let's say if you have friends, you can also do that. So you find a good ally, you can volley it between each other up into a certain point. At like 1.27% stats, I would try and keep those allies around like 2 to 3 million. That would be my top, just because they're filling up a slot. And you can get better allies to fill up those slots. It depends on your ally slots, like I said. Once you fill up your ally slots, you can't buy more allies. So you kind of got to keep that in mind while doing this. So that's kind of like that. And you can see these are my current stats. I am down 170 million gold, which I'll have to buy back. Like, some people had bought my allies, so I haven't actually bought them back. So I'm at 170 million gold. I can reinvest into the allies. So I'm at 3.3 billion gold. So like I said, allies, first off, they give you stats. You can see, like, I got 300% base grasslands, 205 badlands, and base swamp is 200%. And I'll kind of show you the difference in attack almost. I mean, it's a little off because I got a lot of grassland research, let's say, but I'll just basically pick a monster, let's say. Actually, that's not a good idea. I'll pick a PvP person, because monsters, you can actually send three dragons when you have mastery. So I have that. So that'll kind of throw off the what's called stats and all that. So if I take a look at this guy, let's see, my PvP here is around 54 billion, because my ally bonus with bonuses is at 470%. So you can see the attack is much higher. I guess it's a little off because my dragons are also higher on that one. But if you look at, let's say, my swamp attack, I got to find someone who's not shielded. Everyone's shielded right now. It was just after the PvP event, the free-for-all event. So You can see here, why am I attacking? Oh, my Swamp Dragons must be on a tile. Anyway, so 9.3 on there, and let's say Badlands here, we'll take a look at that. And it's at 13. I guess I have a Badlands there, but you can see the ally bonuses do make a big difference. It's not apples to apples, but they do make a huge difference when you're actually attacking people. So ally bonuses you get from your allies, so make sure you get those. You actually get gold for it too, so it's a good thing. And I'll actually put the what's called the thing up on the screen here. It will be the allies. What's that thing? The different what's called prices you can buy the allies at. So if you look at the list here, it'll show you the list of prices, and each of those prices is where you want to look for allies, because those were all the better allies will be in those prices. So that way you're not just putting random prices there and trying to find good allies. Those were the ones you look through. So based on, let's say if I had 160 million gold, that's kind of where you'll see like the ally bonus or the ally gold there. That's where you want to look and do that. Let's say you only want to spend like 70 million, you look at like 70.753 million there, and that's where you'd actually be looking to buy allies from that. And let's see if I actually go to, I'll just put 7,800. Oh, that's 7 million. 7,800. So this would be one of them here. And you'll see it's at 7,53227. You can go there and look for allies there. This is just an arbitrary number. And a lot of times you'll find the better allies actually at the bottom. So you actually got to keep scrolling down here until you find the bottom, because most people actually look at the top and buy allies. So a lot of the good allies there will be taking. But if you actually spend your time and actually go down to the bottom, you'll actually start finding better and better allies as you get closer to the bottom. So that's another tip. Look at the bottom of the list at those numbers I was showing you on the screen, and you'll actually have better chance of getting better allies there, because they'll be hiding down there and people just don't scroll all the way to the bottom or take the time to do so, because it takes time. So anyway, so I think that's everything about allies. You can obviously increase their bonuses. There is a PvP cap for allies. So if you look at my, where's my allies again? If you go to the allies here, you can see that my bonus is at 326, but my cap for players is actually at 324. So there's research to increase that so that you can actually use those, because you can't get unlimited ally bonuses, unfortunately. You can only get it up to your PvP cap. Your other stats will be used for like raids and monster hunting, so that's fine. But actually, I can show you the difference here. Since it will be a little different here, we'll go over to, let's say, TBD again. We'll look for that grass guy, and you'll look at my ally bonus here, and it'll be 470% against the player. But if you go to attack the what's called monster there, it will be 473%, just because I hit the cap at 470 there, or the base. The bonus is actually up from other research and stuff like that. But that's mostly in like biomes and stuff. So like Grassland Grit here, it'll actually get bonus from allies. So this one actually increases per ally the stats and all that. So that's another thing you look at. But that's like more late game kind of thing. So when you're first starting out, you want to make sure you buy the allies, because people buy them from you. You make gold. That extra gold you can invest in the research, or you can put it back in the allies and make more gold. It's like almost compounding interest, because you buy an ally, someone buys it from you, you make gold off the ally, you buy more allies, those more allies get bought, and you make more gold and more gold and more gold. So it's better to do the investment early. Don't just rush research and use all your gold. It's better to have all those allies, and you'll have the bonus stats, you'll be stronger earlier, you'll get more gold over time, all that stuff. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I think that's everything I wanted to go over for allies. If you guys have any questions, just leave in the link down below. I'll have a beginner's tutorial coming out next. So that's basically just how to get started, what research to do, where to basically build, how to actually get more gold and all that stuff, and resources, and where you want to invest all your stuff. I'll basically go over all that, and that'll just be a little beginner's guide so people can get started, kind of that way there's not as much of a learning curve for you. So anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this one, and I'll see you guys in the next one.